I find a lot of music online that I personally love, and it's all stuff that's like really bassy and dark and crazy. That's the stuff that really speaks to me. And whenever I play and I see people going crazy to it, that makes me realize like that one day that could be a living just playing the stuff I like and not have to succumb to radio hits to make some bottle service crowd move for 20 minutes.
If I'm playing in front of, let's say, 15 people, and there's 2 people dancing, and they're having a good time, I did my job.
Yeah, it's like so fucking smooth. It's so good.
If you are looking for something that's probably going to be a little bit more forward-thinking, out of the box, and you don't have to worry about dress code, etc., you're probably going to hang out on U Street.
When you're playing something that's your hometown only, like people just flock to it.
When I'm a DJ, people are like, oh, well, eventually aren't you going to get bored of that? And it's like people like lawyers ask me that. I'm like, are you going to get bored of doc review? I mean, yep. I assume you get bored of doc review the second you lay your eyes on a document that you have to review. I don't know.
Who doesn't like disco? Or who goes to a disco party and isn't dancing and smiling? It's just a great time.
Right now we turn our attention to the Soul Train gang, the Soul Train line, the master storyteller, Mr. Curtis Mayfield.
I stole a lot of my parents' records growing up, and I like the jam bands like Fish and all them, and essentially disco music is kind of like a jam band type orientation. You can look at, you know, the older generation, they love Diana Ross, and now you get all these DJs making edits of the tracks.
I was like really into hardcore.
Yeah, I was in a punk band, like a post-punk band.
And I think I was just like looking for something different. I listened to like the worst stuff, like Florida Breaks and like trance, and I was going to like Buzz, and that was a really big deal, you know, at that time, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. You start buying records and then you kind of fall into like what you really like. I
actually got Daft Punk Homework off of like Amazon.com recommendations, like when they first started, like from like 1999 or something. And so like everyone, I feel like all the like kids were into like Chemical Brothers and the Prodigy, so that kind of like introduced most people to electronic music. For like DJ culture, like Paul Oakenfold, Transport, Paul Oakenfold, dude.
Napster was like also like a big impact on that, because I was able, you know, stuff wasn't streaming online or archived, and I remember like just downloading like every single Essential Mix that was coming out every week on Napster, and those were kind of religiously put up, and like Gavin said, like Transport and Paul Van Dyke and all that stuff.
Thank you, Napster.
Yeah, thank you, Napster.
I started because I was always at like parties with friends when I was younger, and always was the one selecting music, and always was the one pretending to be the DJ behind the boombox, and decided to actually try it out, and stuck with it. It became my first love.
I mean, for the longest time, I've always been kind of obsessed with music, but I started doing like iTunes DJing, like house parties and stuff in Minneapolis. I lived in this kind of crusty basement apartment, and I used to, I don't know, just like, you know, find the tracks that I liked and just had friends over and we all partied and drank and stuff.
My style is very aggressive. I play a lot of bass-heavy electro. I'll sometimes go into hip-hop, definitely Baltimore club.
In the club, we do like house and whatever. Techno house.
Banging shit.
Yeah.
Pots and pans shit.
Yeah. I'm definitely deep into the 90s revival that's happening right now. That's what's definitely speaking to me. It's just the perfect level of, you know, just like soul from house music, but, you know, just still just smart, danceable, you know. tracks.
2007, it was a good year for a lot of promoters and club owners. Rock and Roll Hotel had just opened up, that whole conglomerate with DC9, and so that was actually my first party was there. And those dudes were awesome, very accommodating. It was an awesome year, really cool.
Sort of thing. Every girl is in her stiletto heels, every girl is in this little ass dress.
K Street has always been known for big budget events.
I'd much rather spend $2 or, well, I guess $3 on a natty than whatever, like $12 for a watered down whiskey, Coke. Like, there's nothing in it and I'm paying $12. I'd rather just eat a meal,
If you're on U Street, you're probably not listening to something that's on 99.5. That's number one.
Most spots you're gonna hear the same, like, watered down, like, bullshit like that, that they play on the radio.
Yeah, radio's failing right now. That shit is so garish.
When you're on K Street, you get the same thing from every bar to every single bar. It's all the same. Everyone's dressed the same. Everyone likes the same type of music.
Blogs around the city will throw like do a big event, and it's clearly the one opportunity for the Capitol Hill 20-somethings to let loose and get crazy, and it's the most controlled, feels like a high school prom environment that you can be thrown into. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna have that, and I mean, whatever. I feel fortunate to be able to hang out and enjoy music and enjoy life.
K Street has always really been known as not really the subculture district of Washington, more so mainstream. But as we all know, whatever happens with the subgenre, subcultures, eventually will move mainstream.
Trap Storm.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
We're actually at the Velvet Lounge right now. Throw a party here once a month, like spacey house music, but it's one of the smaller places.
But yeah, there's definitely some select places where DJs really can delve into a stranger's sound. The epitome of a hipster dive bar, there's always cool people there, and you have Dodge next door, which is its older, more mature sibling, whereas Velvet's gonna stay forever in that crusty, angsty, early 20-something. It just stays true to itself.
U-Haul's one of the best places to go. You can always throw down, and it's so nice and private, so you feel like you can do whatever the hell you want. No one's gonna be around you like, oh, look what that person's doing, because everyone around you is doing the same weird shit, and it's awesome. Weirdos, and we love it. All the weirdos come out to play, and you don't feel judged by anybody. U Street's really awesome. Every bar around here is just like everyone's different, and you can feel yourself, and it's great.
matter what, every week there's going to be something that I want to go to.
It's a unique spot, but a necessity, I guess, for the East Street area, for the community.
The Eastman, all the Volta Bureau dudes, but the cool thing is that they can commingle. People are just there to get down. It doesn't, you know, all the preconceived notions aren't necessary. You just gotta, you know, feel the music or not, you know.
On a weekly basis, you can pretty much catch any genre of music you want. It's been huge for the area. I love it.
U Street Music Hall, ever since it's open, has been known as kind of the best venue for good sound and you know, today's kind of DJs and bands and acts that are electronic inspired definitely play there. It's a fun, crazy industry, and it takes a certain personality to be able to deal with that fun energy every single day.
You know, when I first started producing, my mom was like, I don't know if you should be doing this, honey, because it doesn't pay you immediately. And I kind of had to explain that making music is something that's A, fun in and of itself, but financially it's really the kind of thing that sets you apart.
Certainly, I can't do what I do and love it and not have a good time.
It's nice to go up to another city and play, and you kind of get to just play and do whatever you want, but I mean, DC has so many great places to play. I prefer playing in DC.
I was playing the rooftop, and the advertisement said like all disco house. It was like disco house night. It was like on the website, on Twitter, and I show there, and I'm playing disco house, and this girl just drunk as hell just walks up. She's like, "Excuse me?" Like, yeah. She's like, "Can you play some Ice Cube or salsa music?" And it was, "Excuse me?" Where did that come from? It was the weirdest request I've ever gotten. And she stormed out because I don't usually carry salsa music on me at a disco house party.
U Street obviously just kind of as a new, or not new, but within the last 5-10 years has been something that people actually go to. To kind of see it evolve in genres is pretty cool.
I think if you like made a track that day, and thanks to technology you can play it out that night, you made something that day, you're excited about it, you're on fire with it, you come to a club, you're DJing at 1 a.m. or 2 or whatever, it's peak time, you drop it and the audience hands in the air and you know they've never heard it before, that's the ultimate. I mean, I can't think of anything better than that.
Terrible. Terrible.
Perfect and terrible.
Or you could rev up. Oh, you can't put sends on the master. Alright, so what next?
Let's get out that synth.
Yeah, which one? Oh, let's just... Oh, we never brought the Hallelujahs back.
We should bring them back. Like right there.
Say hallelujah.